Hi, I'm Poultry Pete. Hi, I'm Poultry Pete, and I've been breeding and enjoying chickens since the 70s. And today, what I want to talk about is how do you clean your chook shed? How do you clean your chook shed so it comes up really nicely and you're confident that there's no bacterial buildup or any hidden diseases in your shed or thanks for that, any hidden mites that can come up and suck the blood of your chickens at night. Now, some of the equipment you're going to need is some surface spray just from your local hardware, surface spray, insect surface spray. Something that's really worth tracking down is a really good, strong, high-grade disinfectant. This is a veterinary grade disinfectant called F10. It goes a very long way and is really worth the investment. You've got your leaf blower. I've got my scraper for scraping off hard to budge manure, and wheelbarrow, of course. PPE, vitally important. Make sure you wear a mask. I've actually got a double mask here because you don't want to be ingesting lots of fecal matter in a dust particle form. You want to protect your own lungs. And also gloves are really important too. But my favourite tool of all is what I call a hungry shovel. It's this massive shovel that'll lift all that manure really, really quickly. May cost a bit, but well worth purchasing. Okay, so here we go. Now, before we get underway, I think it's really important to point out that if you can possibly have a concrete base to your shed, I highly recommend it because you can actually wash the concrete base. And if you have a soil base, you've always got the risk of little bugs and bacteria living inside that soil. So strongly urge you to either invest in a concrete base or more cheaply, thanks for that, more cheaply, some big pavers. Make a paver base in your shed because that makes for much easier cleaning. And another thing, really recommend that you have a perch and that your perch is made of metal, not wood. Wooden perches have the risk of allowing little insects to burrow in and live nearby. It's much easier to have metal to keep, it's much easier to keep that nice and clean. And the other little technique I've got is a lot of the chickens defecate at night, so most of the smell and the manure that they generate is when they're asleep. So what we've got here are these big trays underneath the perches full with wood shavings, and they suck up all that manure that's defecated at night, which makes for much easier cleaning because all you have to do is move your perch out of the way, lift up your tray and empty all that manure into the wheelbarrow. All right, so really recommend having trays underneath your perch as a surefire way of eliminating all that manure built up over nights and nights and nights. All right, recommend that. So here we go. Basically, you get your hungry shovel, and it's good to start in one corner, right underneath it. Now this is already very clean. It doesn't really need to be barrowed. Forgot my nose. And away you go. Look how fast a hungry shovel is at removing all that litter. Now when you get to the point where your shed is totally clean, just pretend this area is the whole shed. It's a good idea to eliminate all the dust as well. So that's when you get your leaf blower. Once you've got all your litter out and you've dumped that, it's a good idea to get rid of all the dust all through your shed. If you're going to do a thorough job, you could even gurney it. We gurney, spray the shed at least twice a year, very, very thoroughly. Get all the dust out as much as you can, and then you come along, when everything's removed, you get your F10 and you spray every corner, nook and cranny with your disinfectant. Let that sit and dry for a few hours. Make sure the birds are out, of course. Every little bit, every little nook and cranny of the whole shed, disinfect. Now, if you can't get hold of that, because it's a bit expensive, some normal garden lime, about a handful for every square metre or two. Spread that around, sweep that in, even on the soil if you've got a soil base. even if you've got a soil base. You can spread the garden lime, and that will kill any bugs and bacteria as well, all right? And then last but not least, when everything's all dry and completely empty, like that, make sure the chickens are out for this. You get your surface spray, and the same deal. You go over every little nook and cranny, perches, every little part of your shed with your surface spray, but it's important to wait until it's completely dry before you reintroduce your chickens and your new litter. All right, so I'm hoping that's been helpful to you. It's a little bit of work, but mate, it really pays off. And if you smell this shed, it doesn't actually smell very bad. It actually smells of straw, and it smells of wood shavings. It smells of pine. Thank you. Not that horrible ammonia smell that you get when people don't do this. I'm Poultry Pete. Subscribe to my channel, and remember, we've got a community online in what's called School, SKOLL. Just click below and come and join us. We're having a lot of fun. See you for now.